This is the Daily Push, a space about moving forward with intention, about effort, balance, and sustainability. And this is why I game. Today's episode is about a fundamental misunderstanding, a word that gets thrown around a lot when people talk about hobbies, especially gaming: escape. People will tell you, oh, you just play games to escape reality. And for a long time, maybe I even believed that a little myself. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that's not what's happening. Not for me, anyway. I don't game to escape. I game to reset. And that difference, the distinction between escaping and resetting, is everything. Think about it. Escape is an act of running away from something. It's avoidance. It's leaving a problem or a feeling behind, hoping it won't follow you. But it always does. When you escape, you come back to reality feeling scattered, anxious, maybe even more behind than when you left. The thing you were running from is still there, often bigger and louder than before. A reset is entirely different. A reset isn't about running from something. It's about returning to yourself. It's an intentional pause designed to bring you back to your center. It's about clearing the mental noise so you can hear your own thoughts again. Escape leaves you scattered. A reset brings you back centered. That distinction matters profoundly. When I sit down to game, it's not because I'm avoiding my responsibilities. It's because I've already handled them. The emails are sent. The work is done. The promises are kept. Gaming comes after the push, not instead of it. It's the reward, the maintenance, the deep breath after the climb. Let's be honest about modern life. For most of us, our days aren't physically exhausting in the way they might have been for our ancestors. We're not plowing fields or building houses with our bare hands. Our exhaustion is mental. It's a death by 1,000 cuts. Notifications pinging constantly. Deadlines looming. Endless conversations, both in person and digital. There's a constant, low-grade hum of mental noise that follows us everywhere. Even when you finally sit down at the end of the day, your body might be still, but your mind keeps running. It's replaying conversations, worrying about tomorrow, making to-do lists. It's a hamster wheel that's incredibly hard to step off. This is where the typical advice falls short. Just relax, they say. Watch a movie. Scroll through social media. But does that really work? When I scroll through my phone, my brain is still in that same reactive multitasking mode. I'm consuming tiny bits of information, jumping from one thing to the next, comparing my life to others. It's not rest. It's just a different kind of noise. Watching a movie can be great, but it's passive. My mind can still wander back to my worries. Gaming, however, does something completely different. It demands your presence. You can't successfully play a game while your mind is somewhere else. You have to be here now. Your focus has to be on the screen, on your controller, on the task at hand. You are fully engaged. And that, right there, is not escape. That is a form of grounding. It is an anchor for a mind that has been tossed around by the storms of the day. There is a neurological reason why this kind of interactive rest works so much better than passive distractions for so many people. Gaming gives your brain a very specific set of conditions that are incredibly calming for the nervous system. First, it gives you a clear objective. Whether it's to defeat a boss, solve a puzzle, or build a city, you know what you're supposed to do. Life is often ambiguous. Our goals can be fuzzy and long-term. In a game, the goal is right there. Second, games have clear rules. There's a defined structure for how to achieve your objective. You learn the mechanics and you operate within them. This predictability is a balm for a brain that spends all day navigating unspoken social rules and shifting corporate landscapes. And third, you get immediate feedback. Did you make the right move? The game tells you instantly. You succeed or you fail, and you learn from it immediately. There's no waiting for a performance review in 3 months. There's no agonizing over whether you said the right thing in a meeting. The feedback loop is tight and direct. This combination of a clear objective, clear rules, and immediate feedback eliminates ambiguity. It calms the part of our brain that is constantly trying to predict the future and analyze the past. You're not multitasking. You're not doom scrolling. You're not just passively reacting to stimuli. You are actively participating in a structured world. That sense of agency is incredibly powerful and restorative. This leads us to one of the most sought-after psychological states, flow. You've probably experienced it. It's that magical state where you're so immersed in an activity that time seems to fade away. Your sense of self quiets down. That nagging inner critic goes silent. Your attention sharpens to a razor's edge, focus entirely on the task at hand. When you're really in the zone in a game, you are in a flow state. And it's crucial to understand that flow is not laziness. It's not mindless zoning out. Flow happens at the perfect intersection of challenge and ability. The task is just hard enough to require your full concentration, but not so hard that it becomes frustrating. It's a state of high performance alignment. This state is profoundly restorative. Why? Because it rebuilds your sense of competence and focus. After a day of feeling pulled in a million directions, of feeling like you're not quite succeeding at anything, entering a flow state reminds your brain what it feels like to be effective. It restores your confidence. It reminds you that you are capable of deep focus. That's why, when you finally put the controller down, you often feel lighter. The mental weight you were carrying has been temporarily set aside, and in its place is a quiet sense of accomplishment and clarity. So, let's think of gaming as a reset button. A true reset doesn't mean shutting down forever. A computer reset isn't about throwing the machine in the trash. It's about clearing the temporary files, closing the buggy programs, and starting with a clean slate so it can run smoothly again. That's exactly what intentional gaming does for the mind. It clears the mental clutter. You come back to your life and your responsibilities feeling calmer, more patient, less reactive. You've given your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for executive function, a much-needed break by engaging another part of your brain in a structured, focused task. This isn't escape. This is strategic mental maintenance. One of the biggest obstacles I see, especially in adults, is the guilt associated with rest and play. We've been conditioned by hustle culture to believe that if you're not being productive, you're being lazy. We feel guilty for taking an hour to do something just for ourselves, something that doesn't have a tangible, productive outcome. But this is a dangerous trap. Rest isn't the opposite of discipline. Burnout is. Burnout is what happens when you ignore your need to reset. It's when the mental noise becomes so loud you can't function anymore. It's when you become cynical, detached, and ineffective. Intentional rest, like a session of gaming after a hard day's work, is the antidote to burnout. It's earned recovery. The daily push, this whole idea, is not about applying constant, relentless pressure. That's not sustainable. A car that's always redlining will eventually break down. True momentum, sustainable momentum, is a rhythm. It's a cycle of push, pause, and return. You push hard towards your goals. Then you pause intentionally to recover and reset. And then you return to the push, stronger and clearer than before. Gaming, for me, is a crucial part of that pause. So, I want you to think about this. The next time you feel the urge to decompress with a game, or any hobby for that matter, check in with yourself. Are you running away from something you should be facing? That's escape. Or have you done the work, met your obligations, and are now seeking to clear your mind so you can show up better tomorrow? That's a reset. I don't game to disappear from my life. I game to reappear in it clearer, calmer, and more focused than I was before. A reset is not a sign of weakness. A reset is a strategy. A reset is how you keep going. That's today's Daily Push. Thanks for listening. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more conversations about moving forward with intention. See you next time.